Hey everyone, it's Jenna. Welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I'm going to show you my tried and true styling essentials that really help soften my space and give it that designer look and feel. And these are pieces that I have repeated throughout my entire home, so I'm going to kind of take you through and show you how I have each one styled in a different way throughout my space. So hopefully whether you're in a styling rut and you need some ideas and some inspiration, or you're just looking to restyle your space for a new fresh look, this video is going to have a ton of inspiration for you. So without further ado, let's get into it. Okay, so one of my absolute favorite things to use while decorating is artwork. And I think a lot of people think of artwork as something that just finishes off a space and is only there to look pretty and be decorative. But in my spaces, I really like to use artwork intentionally as part of the design, like here in our entryway. This asymmetrical gallery wall really helps create a line of sight up the stairs and provides a subtle, intentional guided traffic flow. And we did the same thing here in this awkward long hallway that we have leading from our entry to our living space, with a high contrast black and white gallery wall with pictures from our wedding that not only is a great conversation piece, but also lends itself to the overall design of the space as well. And artwork is a great solution for adding statements to those awkward blank spaces of wall, and it's also great for helping to play off of a room's symmetry, like here in our guest room. A lot of the artwork pieces in my home are calm, neutral beach scenes because that's what's really relaxing and homey to me, being from Florida. And when I really want to make a statement in a space, one of my go-tos is just cropping a photograph I like into threes and then getting them printed on framed canvases. These particular frames are from Smallwood Home, and I will link the details in the description, but I love the large statement that these make in our dining nook and how the repetition of the frames just really makes them feel high-end and designer. I also snapped this photo when I was on vacation in Laguna Beach with my husband, so it's just a fun memory to get to look back at all the time. Another place where I did this was in our upstairs game room, and I chose this print super early on in the design process, so a good portion of the room is actually designed around this image, with the calm coastal look of it and the warm earthy tones with accents of warm browns, taupes, and muted green tones that all tie back into the art piece and make it feel as though the image comes to life across the room. Artwork is also a great way to help create more of a seasonal atmosphere. I have a little picture easel that I love to switch out the artwork on as the seasons change, and it's just a great way to keep things feeling fresh and festive. And another styling piece that I use in almost every room of my home are trays and risers. And what I love about these is that they help blend practical pieces with decor. So they help make things like tissues and coasters feel more decorative than they would if they were just placed on the surface by themselves. And I have a tray on every single coffee table in my home, and they all consist of a floral element, coasters, and a candle. And this is just a foolproof styling combo that always looks classic and put together. And another place where I love to use trays are on nightstands. In our guest room, we have one with the Wi-Fi code, and by my bedside, I have one with my favorite hand lotions, my pillow spray, and chapstick, which are all the things that I want to conveniently have on hand before bed. And the tray just helps these everyday essentials to look so much more organized and decorative than they would just all sprawled on the side of my nightstand. Another go-to spot for adding trays are on countertop areas, like in the kitchen, and I love how decorative and styled this tray looks, but it's honestly my functional powerhouse section of the kitchen when cooking. I'm always using the lamp for additional lighting, and I'm constantly reaching for the olive oil cruet, and I use my cleaning spray after every meal to clean up. And while functional setups are important, it's also nice to just add risers for decorative purposes in those areas that feel like they need a little bit of softening. So over here on our drink station, I used this riser that was actually an old cutting board that I found at an antique store, and I grouped it together with some decorative items for the fall season just to help add some warmth against our cool gray countertops. I also love to use risers as somewhere to display hand soap in bathrooms, and I always try to group some decorative items in there as well for a more styled look. And I've actually used the same riser as a way to add some visual interest in my shelf styling as well, so a small riser or trivet is a great versatile decor piece to have on hand. So another kind of styling item that I love to incorporate in all of my spaces are hanging decor pieces. Like here in our kitchen, I just hung this black curtain rod from IKEA, and when hanging things over a cooktop area, you definitely want to make sure that they are hung properly and securely, but I love this because it's such a fun way to display seasonal items and some of my vintage decor pieces, and it just really helps to warm up our backsplash area in our kitchen. And hanging decor is also great for those blank spaces of wall where it's not super practical to add a piece of furniture on the floor due to a lack of space. So instead, I love to just hang some wall pegs like here in our home gym, because not only does it help add visual interest, but it's great for practical storage as well. And hanging decorative items above eye level is another great design trick because it helps to dry your eye up and typically makes the space feel taller. So whether it's a set of wind chimes or a hanging plant, consider hanging things from the ceiling as well. Another place to incorporate hanging decor is in an entryway area or mudroom. And I usually like to reserve a couple of hooks to hang some decorative pieces just to help soften the space and give it more of a seasonal look, like here in my spring decorating. And then I'll just use the remaining hooks for coats, but it's nice to have something other than coats and backpacks just to make this space feel more styled and intentional. Another way to incorporate hanging decor is just to hang things on items that you already have. And I bought some of these S hooks off of Amazon, and they just make hanging things like this super simple. And another place you can hang things off of something you already have is just your kitchen hardware. And I love to invest in aesthetic pot holders and trivets because not only does this add some extra texture and softness to my kitchen, but it's super convenient to have pot holders within arm's reach and just makes taking things out of the oven really convenient. Another decor piece I love to use in my decorating are books, and something that I think can really help enhance the look of book styling is utilizing groups of both standing books and laying books in close proximity to each other. So in shelf styling, for example, if you have books standing vertically on one shelf, maybe try laying them horizontally on the next shelf. And something I like to use to help finish off a group of standing vertical books are bookends, and I usually like to use a contrasting color to my group of books so it stands out a bit. And if you don't have bookends, you can totally just use objects you already own instead. Like small decorative plants are a great thing to use as a bookend because they help layer in that earthy feel to your styling, and candles are also a great thing to use as well. And I followed this same kind of format in our upstairs built-in area with a contrasting bookend and just making sure to vary both of my book groupings with both horizontal and vertical placement. Another thing I use in almost every room of my home when it comes to styling are storage boxes. And these are great if you don't have a lot of built-in storage in your space, or maybe you chose a furniture piece without drawers. There's still lots of practical ways to add that hidden storage to your space that looks visually pleasing, and storage boxes are a really great affordable way to achieve that. And adding stacked storage boxes to places like shelves, coffee tables, or console tables is a great way to layer in the element of repetition into your styling. And repetition is a tool designers use all the time, and it just helps make your space feel a lot more polished and professional. So I've incorporated these all over my home, and I'm usually able to find them at Tuesday Morning for some really affordable prices. But if you're working on a smaller budget, try finding some boxes at your local thrift store. I was actually able to score both of these woven boxes for $11, and I just love the warmth and texture that they add to our living room for the fall season. Another thing I use in my styling all over my home are stools, and these really help finish off a space. And because my rooms tend to be on the lighter and brighter side, the contrast of the dark distressed wood really helps make a statement and gives off that calming, earthy, organic look that I strive for. And this specific stool is super versatile. I love moving it all over my home to keep things feeling fresh, like here when I redecorated for Christmas last year. I also love to use stools to accent an empty blank side of a sofa, and when sourcing my stool, I try to keep color in mind. For example, with this lighter sofa, I wanted a stool with a darker stain for a more contrasted look, and maybe if you have darker upholstery, try incorporating a stool with a lighter wood tone or maybe a light paint. So not only does this look layered and decorative, but it's a really practical piece to add because I'm always using these as a place to set down my coffee or a book that I'm reading. Stools are also a great practical decor piece to incorporate for extra seating as well. In my living room, I added 2 stool ottomans to add in, again, that element of repetition and intentionally round out the conversation area. I also used a similar stool in our home gym as a place to just sit and relax, and this is a really simple and cheap way to create a little moment with a faux plant and just get that window seat vibe for a lot less. Now, if you are a regular here on my channel, you know that my most used styling pieces are probably my distressed vases. And the imperfection and the aged details just adds so much character and texture to a space. And no matter what your decor style is, you can make a huge impact with distressed vases. And they are something that I have seen designers use consistently over the years. They are classic, timeless, and really help give your space that comfortable lived-in feel. Now, when it comes to sourcing these vases, you can find them at antique stores, or you can buy new vases that are actually made to look old, like this one that I purchased at HomeGoods, and sometimes you honestly can't even tell the difference. Or my personal favorite, you can just DIY them. I actually have 3 videos showing how I distress my vases, so I will be sure to link those videos below in the description box, as well as links to similar products shown in this video. Another thing I love styling with are canisters, and I love how they can either be a decorative way to hide things you need to store or display them. Like this cute glass paw print canister is perfect for storing our dog's dental treats that Kona knows she gets every night before bed, and instead of having the ugly plastic bag of dental treats, it's so nice to just have them displayed in a nice way on our bedroom shelves. These are also great to use to hide items that you use every day, but you still want out and easily accessible and displayed in a nice decorative way. I always try to choose canisters that are made out of natural materials like marble or a natural looking clay ceramic. I feel like that just adds a very calming, earthy presence to my decorating. All right, everyone, that about wraps up this video. I hope that you enjoyed seeing some of my favorite home decor pieces. If you did, please give this video a thumbs up. It's a great, free, and easy way to help support the channel. And make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss any more home decor content from me. And I just want to thank you all so much for watching this video. I'm super grateful for each and every one of you. I hope you have a fabulous week, and I will see you all in my next video. Bye!